find yourself filled with optimism or filled with, okay, we got to do this, we got to get this done?
A little bit of both. You know, I think every team is optimistic this time of year. I think we have reason to be optimistic. I think we have a really good nucleus of guys. I think we got guys that care about each other. I think they take ownership in something bigger than themselves. They understand the team concept, and so I think those things are all good. And then there's always the apprehension of, the first game's coming up this fast. We've got to cover this. We've got to cover that. Make sure that we don't look silly on September 7th or whatever day that is.
How long does it take guys to buy into the team concept? I mean, to me, football is the ultimate team game.
It is, and I think the team that generally plays together as a team, plays real hard and doesn't make mistakes, you're going to win the majority of your games. And so that's what we try to do defensively. We try to be sound fundamentally. We don't, we're not that fancy. We do things, I think, pretty well. And as long as we do them like that each and every day, each and every Sunday, each and every practice, I think we have a chance to be a good defense. And then you start adding some talent with it and some guys that do buy in. But like you say, it is. Some guys take longer to buy into the team concept, and so it's a message you have to preach every day, just like shaving. You got to do it every day.
Yeah, you talk about the message. Your voice has been consistent here over the years. Do you have to change things up year to year to make sure that they're getting the message? It's new and it's fresh and it's something they want to attack.
Well, I think every year is a little bit different message. There was the message 4 or 5 years ago where we weren't very good, and if I went in there and told them that, they probably wouldn't believe me. So I have to be honest with them, and tell them I think where we're at, but I also have to tell them, all right, here's where we are. This is what we have to do to get the next step. This is what we're really trying to get to. But with me, it all starts with fundamentals. We have to do things fundamentally correct, and we have to continue to do them as a team. And if we don't do them like that, if my job is to do this and I do something else, then we're all going to look bad.
Ray Maualuga, he seems like he's often the target of a lot of people. Yet you guys thought enough of him to make sure he got signed again. What does he have to do to just keep being the player you want him to be? Well,
Ray's got a lot of positive things that people don't understand. He loves the city, number one. He loves the fans here. He loves, even though they don't all love him, he loves football and he loves this team, and he will do anything for this group of guys. And when you have people like that, part of it, I think, how do you put a price on that? How do you say, well, this guy loves being here. He loves everything about it. Plus, he has athletic ability. He adds a lot of physicality to us, especially in the running game. So he does a lot of things for me. And sometimes he's too hard on himself. If I say something to him wrong, he'd go in his shell a little bit. But he's been with me now for 3 or 4 years coming up, and this would be a good year for him.
Should we expect to see Drake Kirkpatrick?
I think so. I believe he's going to practice now, so this will be good for him. He's excited. He's a very excitable kid. I saw him this morning, and he was talking to me about how he's ready to go and ready to practice. And so we're going to get him out there and let him compete. I love the way he competes, and you can never have too many corners. But if he's the best one, he'll play.
That fluffy microphone of HBO was just hanging over you a moment ago. Do you dread that, or do you welcome it?
I think the first couple days it's a little bit unnerving. You got cameras everywhere, and you got microphones in your face and all that. It's a little bit unnerving, but once we get into football and we start getting to that point, we all realize we all have a job to do. I understand it's great for the fans. I think it's great for the fans of the Bengals. They get to see an in-depth look at how we do things. Maybe not so much for me, but I do think it's good for everybody there, and I do think that we're professionals, and as they are. I see these guys every Sunday anyway, these NFL Films guys, whether it's the producer or the cameraman or the sound guy, and they're all great on Sundays. They come up and say hi, we know them as well as anybody in the league. So they've got a job to do, and we're going to, hopefully they'll do the best job we can, and I know I'm going to do the best job I can.
How good is Gino?
Well, we're probably not supposed to say anything with this contract coming up, but Gino's a good guy. He's a tough competitor. He's got a lot of strength and ability, and the way that he competes, the way that his quickness in the passing game is really, really good. And I'm glad we have him. He makes the rest of us better each and every Sunday, and we're glad we have him.